It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Sasha Danisheuskay water skier. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in the sport of water skiing?
Um, well, I was 8 years old, and my parents usually push me to do different kinds of sports. And one day we were driving by the ski lake, which is 15 minutes from my home, and my dad asked me if I want to try it. So we kind of just went in and tried it, and it got stuck.
What was it like going to college at ULM and getting to compete in water skiing?
Um, it was very fun because collegiate skiing is very different from professional skiing. It's all about team scores. There is not really individual scores there, and the scoring system is different. So it's placement based and not your score based. So it's all about fun and having team. So it was very, very interesting, like different experience for sure.
How is that like getting to be on the collegiate team and getting to compete as a team and getting to put on that water suit?
Um, it's it's very cool feeling because you feel like you have huge support, and you also feel like it's all about fun, and because sometimes sport can be very like mentally tough and you can burn out, but with collegiate skiing it's all about having fun and all ski together. So I feel like it's very, very rewarding.
Of course, on the collegiate water skiing side, what were some of your accomplishments during your collegiate time?
Well, as a team, I won 3 nationals, which is very, very good, I feel like. Personally, I got second in jump couple times. I got couple seconds in overall. I feel like I don't really remember exactly because it was more about getting this team title. So um, yeah, it was pretty fun.
What was that like, obviously helping your team win those team titles?
It's very cool because leading few weeks leading into the event, we all training together and like what very I wouldn't call strict, but like you feel like a big build up for like a big tournament, but as soon as you're done and finish, we also celebrate together for weeks after. So it's a lot of like big intense build up and training, but then afterwards it's also a lot of like celebration and like actually feeling accomplished, I guess.
Of course, coming out of college, what was it like getting on the professional side of water skiing?
I was basically like I was sort of a professional skier before I got to college. That's the reason why I got into that school because they offered me a full ride. Um, the skiing after college, I feel like it was interesting because it took me a couple seasons to adjust and like find the new rhythm and new support system, I guess, and like um, being like basically when you're in open, all the goals are like way higher, so it takes longer to get there. So adjust to that process as well. So, but it was
What,
fun.
what was that feeling like the first time you got to represent your country of Belarus?
Um, I I represented my country, Belarus, first time in 2010. So we have junior European, so I was like 13 years old. So it was cool because it's you get to go and see different countries and like compete with a team and like see different lakes, and all the tournaments are very big, so it's always fun. Um, yeah, I mean, kind of grew up on a bus, traveling different countries, hanging out with my teammates. It's like hard to beat, I guess.
What is that practice like, practicing all your trick shots and your tricks that you do on the water?
It takes time, obviously, and yeah, tricking, I feel like it's one of the hardest events. Like for people who are not familiar with water skiing, we have three disciplines like trick skiing, slaloming, and jump. So trick skiing, you have two passes, and you do as many tricks as you can in 20 seconds, and you cannot repeat a trick. And each trick costs a certain amount of points, right? So um, obviously, you start learning easy tricks, and then the more you progress, the more you need to find space to replace easy tricks with harder ones. And it just takes time. Like you go on the water and like you do 10, 15, 30 tries, whatever, land on your face. And then when you get this trick consistent, you can put it in your run. So I feel like tricking is definitely um, the longest event you have to practice, at least for me. So, but it's always fun because you go from like something simple like just spins to different flips with like turns and all the stuff. So it gets more exciting.
Of course, while you're doing tricks, what happened if you, let's say, did a trick once and then you repeated the trick? What happens in that case?
It just doesn't get points. So that's why you have to get many tricks in your arsenal so you can fill in these 20 seconds, but also put harder tricks to get more points because you can only eat that many tricks in 20 seconds, right? So,
What was it like preparing for the Open World Championship?
um, I mean, it's big event, and in water skiing, open worlds happen every 2 years. So obviously, it like you know when it's gonna be, and like you plan your season. So, and these worlds were actually in Florida, 40 minutes from place where I live. So I'm familiar with this site, so it's nice. Um, I got to ski there a bunch, practice a bunch beforehand. Um, I mean, it was good. Like pretty much like any big event, you plan for it, you prioritize your events in advance, and like trying to build up for it. So yeah, it was fun.
Of course, in 2021, what was that like getting to compete in your home area of Florida?
Um, it was good because again, it felt familiar, and also a lot of people showed up to watch, even though it was super hot. And I mean, event takes like 4, 5, 6 days. So it was pretty nice because you get to see all your friends. It's site that you know, and it's also close to the home. So instead of staying at the hotel and like being in like unfamiliar environment, at least you have like I guess a home court advantage, I would say a little bit. Like I get to go and stay at home and like recover and basically stick to my normal routine, which I feel like was helpful.
Of course, how has that transition been like for you, switching from the country that you used to represent to now coming to the US to represent US?
It's a little bit different because, well, for people who don't know, there is a war going between Russia and Ukraine at the moment, and Belarus is right in the middle. So, Olympic Committee issued a suggestion that all the Belarusian and Russian athletes will be banned from any Olympic type events, and our federation, Winter Ski Federation, also adopted this ban and basically uh, blocked us from competing even under white flag. So, and the only way to compete is switch countries. And I did not support the political system back home, like what president says and does. So for me, switching countries on the political scene was relatively easy, but it also kind of sucks because it was forced and it wasn't really my choice. Um, I mean, on the bright side, because I have been living in the US for long enough, I was able to switch and compete starting at the beginning of the season. So I only missed one event, and there is way more people that are less fortunate than me. So, I mean, I guess I'm
Of
just
course, what was it like coming to the US and getting to go with teammates such as Brittany Greenwood, Dallas Friday?
I mean, it was fun because I was skiing with Brittany kind of the same years. Like we went to different colleges, but pretty much at the same time. So we got to know each other, and every tournament we kind of like hang out. So you know everybody and her parents very supportive of collegiate skiing. So they're super helpful and nice and make everything very like comfortable, accommodating. So their parents kind of adopted all of us as their like kids. So it was super nice. And like every tournament you go to their place, it's very fun, I would say. So I mean, like it's always nice. Now we like pretty good friends, and yeah, I mean it's cool.
Of course, how is that feeling like when you're doing the tricks being up so high in the air?
Um, I mean, doing tricks, we're not super high. It feels more like if you ever jumped on a trampoline and do flips. So you always know where you like, kind of where you're in space, and like you adapt to the timing, I guess. So when I'm doing tricks, I'm not really focusing on how high. I'm more focusing on like key features or like key points of my technique and what I need to do. So I guess my mind is just busy focusing on that part instead of appreciating what around and like all the new feelings.
Of course, for my listeners that don't know, what is the sport of water skiing and how do you compete in it?
So I mentioned earlier, so we have three disciplines: slalom, trick, and jump. Um, you can compete at any age. So for in order to compete, you need to join if like club, federation, whatever. And there is different levels of tournaments. So C class, it's less strict, and all your scores not going to go to the ranking list. And then, but it also requires less preparation and like level of judging, so they're more accessible. And then there is like ranking list and record list tournament, which are harder to put on because you need certain level of judges and certain like not lakes but courses, and everything needs to be properly measured and stuff. Um, in each discipline, tricking is like 2 passes, 20 seconds. You do as many tricks as you want. Some kids start with just going down and back with leg and just waving. That's how you start. Slalom is you enter the slalom course. It's like the gates, 6 buoys, and exit gates. So it's very similar to snow ski slalom, but horizontal. And then you have a like certain speed. It increases by 3 kilometers per hour, and then at the top speed they shorten your rope. So at certain point from the boat to the buoy is actually the distance is longer than the rope itself. So you have to like lean and stretch out, and it's getting super like way harder because you need to accelerate way more to get to the apex. And the water ski jumping is you have a ramp and the boat goes with a fixed speed, and there is a GPS system in the boat. So the kind of more you pull, the more acceleration you get, and your goal is to jump as far as possible.
Of course, what is your game day routine and ritual like preparing for the race?
So on the tournament day, I usually try to keep everything as similar to my everyday routine. So trying to have a good breakfast, calm down, get to the side like 1 hour before my set or something like that. Do my standard warm up, do some visualization, and basically go for it.
Of course, what is that feeling like getting to put on that Team USA water suit and get to represent Team USA?
Well, since I'm skiing under white flag at the moment, I don't really know yet, but well, I'll find out next year.
How's that feeling going to feel like when you get to put on that Team USA after this white flag period?
um, I don't think I'll feel that much different because I'm still competing against myself and I have my goals. So, and for the Team USA, there's only like a couple events when team results actually matter. It's like Worlds next year, and yeah. So I mean, I think it will be fine. I feel like it will be good.
Of course, who are some of the people that you look up to in the sport of water skiing?
Um, there are a few people. Like I wouldn't say I have an idol or whatever, but I have a great group of coaches and support team that are really great. And there are some people that I would like to like, some people's behavior I'd like to imitate. So the list is just very long.
Who are some of the people that have inspired you and have obviously implement your game after?
Some people who inspired me. I mean, when I was growing up, my teammate Natalia Bernikov was very inspiring to me because she actually had like she had a world record, like three records out of four at the same time, and like I kind of knew her, so it was pretty cool to know that somebody so close by can achieve that. So I feel like that made me feel like everything you want is doable, like all the dreams can come true as long as you work hard. So that was really nice to have that example so close by. Um, some other people are like Scott Ellis, one of my coaches. He just retired last year, but even through like many injuries, he still was competing for like 40 years straight and being still um, like how to say it, like he was still able to compete with other people at the same like level, and always having fun and like pushing the limits. That was really nice, and like having family, and like now his kids are competing, so it's very nice to see like that's what like water skiing is actually like. In some sports you have only, let's say, 10 years of your prime age, but in water skiing it can last a very long time. And yeah, I feel like it's pretty cool.
Of course, how was it like getting to compete on the Pro Team Challenge in 2021?
Pro Team Challenge. It was fun. I have been to that site before, and I like their format that basically they invite pros to the site, but also amateurs and kids, and the kids actually get to choose what pros they want on their team. So it's pretty nice to have all the kids involved and all the pros kind of compete together and like have this mashup. So
Of course, how has that feeling been like getting to meet your fans and having them ask for your autographs and photos?
it's always fun, especially when are the kids and like asking like how did you start or like how did you do it, because I feel like by showing like by talking to them you get them interested in sport and they join, and yeah, I feel like it's nice like knowing that like the sport is growing.
What are some of your favorite what are some of your favorite competitive tournaments that you've competed in so far?
um I mean, well, I feel like the most intense is usually Worlds because it's only once every 2 years. Another one is Mumba. um, It's in Australia and it's part of the festival, so it's very unique experience when you get to ski down the river with like thousands and thousands of people. That's pretty awesome. Um, I mean, any pro stop is pretty cool because you get a nice webcast and it's usually pretty intense. Um, and you get to have all your friends also. So, I mean, I feel like any tournament can be can be fun if you approach it with the right mindset.
What are some of your future plans in the sport of water skiing?
Um, right now, for this season, I have two more pro stops left, so trying to focus on that and basically have off season, work on some stuff and my technique for the coming 2023 season, and then it's World's year, so trying to get ready for the next World.
Of course, what are some of the things that you learn now that you didn't know before becoming a professional in water skiing?
Me, I feel like um, I mean, there is a lot of things. Uh, Mainly how to listen to your body and don't overtrain, because sometimes rest is actually more important, and a lot of injuries can be avoided by properly taking care of your body. Um, I feel like mindset is pretty big thing. I've been working on it for the last couple years. So um, thanks to Chelsea Mills, that's my mental coach, and kind of having that practice also helps a lot, because I feel like sometimes it's not only physical, it's also mental game. Um, I mean, trying to, uh, just different approaches at practice itself. Um, it's not always about quantity, it's quality time as well. Um, yeah, there are a lot of things, all of them change constantly. So, yeah.
What advice would you give those college skiers that are looking to compete collegiately on the water skiing side?
Oh, well, absolutely do it. It's you can only do it for 4 years, so it's amazing opportunity. It's always fun. I don't think I ever met somebody who didn't like collegiate skiing experience. And because in college there is very big level, like distinguish of level, you can meet a pro, you can meet a very beginner. So nobody's gonna judge you. So just go have fun, and it's gonna be the best 4 years of your life.
What advice would you give those collegiate water skiers looking to make the professional level?
Just keep practicing. Everything is possible. Like find your routines, find the good people around you that can support you, and good luck.
What advice would you give people that are looking to represent their country or their national team?
I would say same advice. Just keep working, compete against yourself so you get better faster, and yeah, just have fun.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Well, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, pretty much anywhere. So my handle is my last name, which is very long. So if you can find it in description or something. So yeah,
Thank you again, Sasha, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the sport of water skiing.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Sasha, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the sport of water skiing.
Thank you so much.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.